Thank you. Hello. So thanks for having me, Jessamine. And yeah, it's really nice to be here. But I just wanted to note that I saw like this kind of an infographic or a graphic lately, and it had a circle, and inside the circle it said comfort zone, or your comfort zone. And then it had an arrow going all the way over here, and it said where the magic happens. So I just wanted you guys to know that I am way out of my comfort zone right now. So this room must be like really full of magic. So you're welcome. So I do have one joke. Who likes jokes? Me too. Okay. Why was Pavlov's beard so soft? Classical conditioning. Boom. Yeah, I'm a behaviour analyst, and I'm from Cork, and those are my two favourite things about myself. And I wrote that joke, actually. Is that a joke? Can I call that a joke? Yeah, that's a joke. A joke I wrote. Can't believe it. Okay, you might excuse me while I consult my textual prompts from time to time. So yeah, I actually do have to consult them. Oh, Janie, that's embarrassing. Right, so so applied behavior analysis, that's what I'm here to talk about, and that is the application of behavioral science to real world problems, okay, or issues that we face. And so I would love nothing more than to just stand here and tell you all the principles of behavior and how it works and all of that, but I was told I wasn't allowed. However, we can actually just now have a very brief terminology Thursday, right? Because what just happened there, so you guys laughed, thank you, I really do appreciate it. You guys laughed, so we could consider that laughing reinforcement, right? So reinforcement is a principle of behavior that is very well established by now. And basically it means that when behavior occurs and it's followed by a desirable or a nice or a nice consequence, then that makes that behavior more likely to occur in the future. Okay, so behavior is increased in this way. You're more likely to behave in this way under similar circumstances when you've had reinforcement. So that's cool. So you didn't know it, but you were all being behavior analysts and shaping my behavior while we're here, as we do all day long, all day, every day. So textual prompts. So, because I can't tell you all of the cool stuff about applied behavior analysis, and this is like not a career for us, this is like our lives, right? So behavior analysts they really love behavior analysis, right? They really, really do. We wouldn't make fun of it like Jessamine does with physics, or we wouldn't say that you need balance in your life. No. No need, lads, no need. Just join the club, right? So I decided to talk about the topic of my PhD, right? So we have had a long and checkered relationship at this point. So, got on well for a few years. Things were ticking along nicely. Then, bit of an itchy feet situation started to happen. Just got boring, might admit that. And, we just sort of grew apart. It was my fault, I take full responsibility. So after like a 5-year, also it was like, look at all the other cool stuff we can do, right? Look at all the things you can research, all the things we still need to know and to tweak and to make better. There's just so much stuff to do, right? So after a 5-year hiatus, I recently started to see the appeal of operant variability as a subject matter to start researching again. So I was like, yeah, remember you were cool. Yeah, remember I was cool when I was with you. I was great. And I remember all those adventures we planned, like mainly all the stuff that I told my extern I would do in my Viva, so he didn't ask me why I hadn't already done it, right? So yeah, we had all those plans. So I decided to revisit those plans, and I'm very much back in love with this subject area again, which is very cool. So what is it? I know you're like, how do I get in on this action, right? Sounds so cool. So I'm laughing, but I'm also serious. Sorry, textual prompt. You're learning, right? Textual prompts are where you like use text to prompt something. So there you go. I thought it might be okay because I've seen comedians do it. So there you go. So after this 5-year hiatus, back I am again. And so basically variability is what it says on the tin, the ability or the tendency to vary your behavior, right? So we all need to be able to do this. It makes us try new things, it makes us be creative, it makes us problem solve, it allows us to do all of these things, to be able to vary your behavior and try new things, right? So basically we might be thinking, well, how do we learn this? I'll tell you. So there's a couple of ways. So basically we can look at, you know now what reinforcement is. I was like, sugar, did I remember to say it? I did though, yeah. So we know what reinforcement is, right? So what happens when we expect reinforcement but it doesn't come? Okay, so you might have a behavior, you expect reinforcement to happen, it doesn't happen, so you try something new. So that's one source of variability in behavior. So for example, if you go to a vending machine every day to get your chocolate fix, right? So Euro Snickers every day. One day you come in, Euro in, no Snickers. Are you going to just put in, well, you press the button as well. Are you going to just like put in another euro and press the button again? No, because that didn't work, right? So you're going to try something different. And depending on, it probably says a lot about person's character, what they do next, right? But it'll probably end up, you know, anyone coming and maybe we'll start kicking it, or we might call for help, but we'll try something different, okay? So when we don't get reinforcement, we try different things. A more familiar example might be if you're at home with a partner, so there's a couple at home, some random couple I've never met, and it's definitely not me. And so home after a long day's work, and one of the partners is, you know, there's no nice way to say it, bulling for a fight, right? So what do you do? It's very revealing. This is hypothetical. So it might start with like a passive aggressive comment about the way the dishwasher's loaded, right? Now partner number 2 has been to this rodeo before, right? They're not biting. Right? So they're like, don't feed the beast. Keep your mouth shut, we'll get through it. No, you won't. So what do? You don't get the reinforcement, so you try something new. Get a few sneaky digs in, you know, vary, that's not working, I'll try this. Before long, you're having a big shouting match about your respective exes, and it's all carnage, right? So yeah, that's induced variability. It happens when you don't access reinforcement. There is another way that we learn to vary our behavior, though. And this is when we receive reinforcement directly for varying. Now, this sounds a bit complicated, but it's not. Think about young children. Think about novelty, creativity. You know, little Jimmy gives you the same painting every day. I mean, you love him, but that's going to get boring. And by the end of it, you're not going to be like, oh, you're a genius artist. You're going to be like, that's weird. You give me the same painting every day. So we learn. So we naturally are going to reinforce varied behavior. What else do we value and reinforce? We reinforce trying new things. We reinforce going to different places, trying new ways to solve a problem, very creative things, or in your academic work, trying new things is always going to get you some positive feedback, right? So what do we do with all this? And I know I'm supposed to talk about my research. So what I do is, my work is basically focused on increasing variability in play skills of very young children with autism or other developmental disabilities. So we work with children who, I actually just started to get nervous now because I'm actually talking about my work that means something to me. All of it means something to me, but that's really weird. Just as I started to talk about my work, the bit I should be comfortable with, I just got really terrified. But I'll own it, it's fine. So, yes, so children with developmental disabilities are one group of people that might have low variability in their behavior, okay? So this means they might have very rigid or repetitive patterns of behavior. Trying new things is really scary. Going to new places is really scary. So we work with children who have very low variability in their play. So they don't try a range of play actions. They might have only one toy they play with. They don't sample a range of toys. And really what this means is they miss out on the good stuff, because you don't find the good stuff unless you try loads of things. You go, that's rubbish, that's rubbish, that's rubbish. This is amazing. And then when you find the amazing thing, you might also find a friend who also loves that amazing thing, or you find that you're really good at something. So that's the reason that we bother to do this work. So what do we actually do? What we can do is we can make reinforcement dependent on varied play actions. So we deliver reinforcement if an action or a toy that you sample varies from the previous one, or maybe varies from the previous two. And actually, it's been shown. You know the way we say, we've shown. No, I didn't show that. Well, the previous bit I did, but the next bit I didn't. But can you say we if you just like cited the paper once? We've shown. Well, so we've shown, previous people have shown that mammals whose habitat changes, who have more need to vary their behavior in later life, they actually play for longer. And not only that, but their play is more varied. They do lots more different type of things. I always think of the little tigers doing their rough and tumble, right? So actually that paper fell where I learned that, which I really found engaging and really hooked me on this sort of area. I actually discover that paper when in my very early career sent a really amateurish review paper to a journal, like totally thinking they would love it. So they rejected it pretty quickly with the recommendation that I read this paper. So I would like to say thank you, reviewer number 2. I know you got a hard time. So yes, this is basically what we do, and I'm really enjoying research in this area. So the aim is to build a varied repertoire of play skills in very young children. Now, we don't know yet the extent to which that will generalize. So what I mean by that is if I increase variation in play, does that mean we have increased variation in language, or are they more likely to explore different environments? But that's really what we're hoping for, and I'm hoping that it's like an informed hope. And so that's what we're looking at next, is to follow these kids and see that, or children, my mother always gives out to me for saying kids, follow these children and basically see if we are having like really positive benefits that we hope for, like the ability to try new things, the ability to go to different places and to find the world a little less scary, with the main aim of empowering people to step outside their comfort zone and experience some magic. Thank you.
Clodagh Murray, everybody.